Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream. It's post match kind of stuff, innit? Obviously, we had the game yesterday against Copenhagen, which is a good result for City. Quite a dominant display as well, which is good to see. And yeah, I just thought I'd have a chat about the game and kind of the news that's been since the game as well. Obviously, a few injuries in that, which you can go to see how that's going to affect us going forward, especially into Chelsea at the weekend. First things first, though, hit the like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. How you doing, Hugh?
Good. Very happy. We both did watch alongs last night for the first time ever.
Yes, Mr. CBS.
You know, like that's the way it is these days.
People that don't know, he was on CBS last night. He's gone global. He's gone global.
Yeah. Me and Nigel Rio Coco and them man cooking it up.
Yeah, boy. People asking about Big Steve as well. We'll get a Big Steve show. I've not spoken to him today. I'm gonna guess there is. Obviously, he has just come back from Copenhagen, so allow it a little bit for Big Steve. But we will get a Big Steve show in this week, either tomorrow or on Friday or something like that. I'll speak to him later on tonight and see what he says. Get a Big Steve show in. Yeah, so you watched the game. You did your own watch along in it with the CBS boys. What did you think?
It was good, wasn't it? It was good. Very dominant performance. Like I'd have taken a draw personally. I'd have been kind of satisfied with a draw going back to the Etihad and to get the win and bring it home. Like I don't want to be disrespectful, but you'd like to think the tie is done. You'd like to think the tie is done. There should really be no world where Copenhagen come to the Etihad and turn us over and flip the tie on its head. You know, from a 3-1. They shouldn't be coming and scoring 3 goals and us not scoring at all. That would be a total.
That's a disaster.
That would be quite embarrassing. So I'd like to think the tie is done. Very satisfied with the performance. Some players were excellent. You know, Copenhagen aren't a bad team, man. They're not a bad team. If you want a Manchester club to beat Copenhagen, you got to go and do it yourselves. Because United couldn't do it in the group stages, man. You got to go and do it yourselves. We showed them. This is how you beat Copenhagen. This is how a big club right now acts. This is how a real team acts right now. A proper team and plays against Copenhagen. So we got our job done, man. We did our thing.
Yeah, man, we did our bits. I think it was good. It was a good performance. It was quite dominant. Obviously, they got their goal as well, which is annoying. I'm glad that we got the win, and like you say, I'm glad that we've basically secured. I don't want to say secured the quarters because it sounds bad saying that, but. Like you just said, if they was to come and batter us at the Etihad, it'd be, I mean, we don't deserve to go any further in the competition. So
we should be allowed at this stage because we're that good and have been for so long. We should be allowed to feel like, yeah, we are through to the next round after winning 3-1 away. Like on that CBS thing last night, they were also covering the Real Madrid game who were playing away at Leipzig, and they had a Real Madrid fan doing what I was doing for Manchester City. They only won 1-0 Real Madrid, and they were cutting to him in between, incidents during the game and talking about how it's going. Guy was fuming after the game. They're like, bro, you won 1-0, man, away in Germany, and you get to go back to the Bernabeu now. He's like, nah, this ain't good enough. Like, the performance wasn't good enough. We should be dominating, yada, yada, yada. So I think if that's the way Real Madrid feel, whatever, that's the way Real Madrid do their thing. But we, at 3-1 up, coming back to the Etihad, we should be in the last 6 or the quarterfinals. We should be. Like, it would be an almighty embarrassment for us to get turned over at home with a 3-1 lead. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing for me is, when obviously it was 2-1 at one point, that for me gave them a lifeline still. Now, obviously, I wouldn't envision them beating us anyway at the Etihad. I feel very confident. That's why before when you said about you'd be still happy with the draw even if you just drew that game, because we've seen how it was last season where we draw all the away games, take them back to the Etihad and beat them there. I'd have been okay with that on that basis. But it was just annoying for them to have anything in the game. I really wanted to kill it off, especially because that second leg comes into play in a difficult fixture period. Is it between United and Liverpool? Yeah, so we have Chelsea this weekend, United next weekend, then it's Copenhagen. Obviously, we have Brentford, obviously, in between them two games, but then it's Copenhagen, sandwiched right in between those two. So I really, really, really wanted us to be able to chill in that game. And I do think now, in that second leg, I don't think we can go all out chill mode and be playing your Sissoko's, like, and things like that, just like fully from the off. But I do think we can afford to have a bit of a mixed side. We can rest a few key players if needed in between them two games, which I think is crucial when we're trying to fight on all fronts. So we've done ourselves a favour by getting that last minute goal.
The third goal was the dagger. That was the
Yeah.
dagger. I think
you could see they knew it.
Yeah. I think even at 2-1, man, Copenhagen, they knew it was an uphill. It would have been an uphill task coming to the end. He had a 2-1 down, but they had that lifeline, as you say. Do you know what I mean? They had that kind of right. If we get one goal, particularly early in the second leg, and try and put the pressure on Manchester City, they might be able to make a proper tie out of it in the second leg. But 2-goal gap going to the home of the European champions. I think mentally they'll have taken a big hit with that third goal. It was huge that we got that third goal for me. But I think you're right though. We can in that second leg. The game straight after the second leg is 4 days later. Got Liverpool away. You know what I mean? We got to go to Anfield 4 days after this tie. I wouldn't be starting all the big dogs. Yeah, I think you could have a mix. You can have a mix, but I probably wouldn't start De Bruyne. Don't know about Haaland. Don't know about Foden. Maybe not all of them get rested, but mix and match. Bear in mind the Liverpool game, because look, whatever team takes the field against Copenhagen should not be conceding 3 goals. That's bottom line. We should not be conceding 3 goals at home to Copenhagen, regardless of who's on the pitch. So, all things considered, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I think it would be good. Yes, Harry says evening from Denmark, a pissed up trip. Yes, Harry, I've seen that you found somewhere to get some, was it Copperbergs? So big up, mate. Hope you had a good time, bro. So sticking to the game, I seen a stat today. I was thinking injuries then, but we'll go on in a sec. But I seen a stat today, and City have won 9. Is it 9 knockouts in a row, or I don't even know where the stat is, so I can't even confirm it. But basically, there was a mad stat.
If you want to start, I got to start.
Hit me.
Hold tight, CBS, man. Nigel Reo-Coker kept saying this. Phil Foden, I don't know, did they say it on TV on TNT, but I'm going to give it to you here anyway. Phil Foden is the youngest player to ever hit 50 appearances in the Champions League.
Yo, that's mad.
Yeah, and we got to have a conversation about Phil Foden. We got to have a conversation with Phil Foden. Chat, smash a like on this stream if you're a Phil Foden lover. That's my task, my homework to you for the evening. Smash a like on this stream if you are a Phil Foden lover like me. Because I don't even call him this kid anymore or this wonder kid, the star boy. He's star man. Big up David Bowie again. He's star man. Like Phil Foden. Who was it said it? Was it last night or someone today said
Rio?
Well, yes. When Haaland and De Bruyne were both injured, this guy took the responsibility and the pressure of the team on his shoulders. And he did. And he rode the wave of adversity and difficulty, particularly at the start of the season when Phil Foden in the middle took him a little bit of time to find his feet. The last 2, 3, 4 months, the guy has been absolutely class, whether it's centrally, whether it's out in midfield. You can see Phil Foden by the way he plays football these days. You can see he feels like, I'm important now. I'm not just a rotational player. I'm not just a great player off the bench, or I'll start some games. I'm now important to the way this team ticks, to the way this team plays. I'm up there with Haaland, De Bruyne, and Rodri in terms of importance to this team. The creativity. You saw the pass Foden put through for the first goal last night. There's not many players in world. It looks so easy for him. There's not many players in world football see that, execute it perfectly, perfect weight, and then of course Kevin De Bruyne slots it away. Foden is crucial, and he's absolutely slamming it right now. I'm so gassed for him, man. I'm so gassed.
Do you know what I love to see about Phil Foden is he's not become like He's not the David Silva replacement. He's not a Bernardo Silva replacement. He's not going to be a Kevin De Bruyne replacement. I mean, to be fair, I mean, like the way that it's going, obviously, But then Kev looks fitter than ever right now, so I doubt that for a while anyway. But what he is Phil Foden is Phil Foden. Like, I don't look at it. I look at him and I see different parts of his game where you can see where he's learned from all these other players. But to just be himself and his rise in this team, I just think he's incredible for someone so young to do that consistently in the top level. Like Rio said, the reason that people don't class Saka yet as well, or the reason he didn't class Saka yet as world class is because he's not done it at the top level consistently yet. Whereas Phil Foden has been there. Yeah, he is doing bits at the top level. Do you know what I mean? He's incredible. He genuinely is incredible. And at the start of the season, I think it was me and you talking about it, saying that we had good feelings for Phil Foden this year, thinking that he was going to do bits. And we weren't wrong. We weren't wrong. He's still doing bits. He's having his best season at City so far. I think, is it like 10 goals, 7 assists, something like that? He's smashing it this year. Absolutely smashing it. And I'm buzzing for him, man. Absolutely buzzing for him. Continue.
I hate that Saka Foden debate. It's actually just a load of bollocks, and it's so
The
forced.
two completely different players as well.
No, it's not the two completely different players. One is simply better than the other. I don't care what stats you bring to me. I don't care about Saka scored and got this many assists and yada yada yada. Watch football with your eyes, people. Watch it with your eyes. Saka does not dictate and control games or have the technical ability of Phil Foden. He can put up any amounts of numbers he wants. He is simply not as gifted and doesn't have the control of Phil Foden. He just doesn't. I rate Saka. I think he's great. But
I rate Saka.
The conversation as, oh, he's got the ability and he's going to go neck and neck with Phil Foden. No, he's nowhere near Phil Foden's technical ability. He's nowhere near Phil Foden's footballing IQ. I watch Saka and I go, yeah, he's a lethal finisher and he's dangerous in the final third. He is. But there's games where Saka will just simply ghost. He just won't be involved. And you'll go, where's Bukayo Saka? At least Phil Foden, you'll see throughout the game, this guy's got it. He's got it. He knows what he's doing. I hate that debate so much, man. It's so forced. Foden's
it is very forced. And
man.
Mohammed would have too as well, as insecure Arsenal fans hating on Foden. Yes, Mohammed, bro. And yeah, that's what it is. They'll hate on Foden because of the way that we're speaking about Saka. But like Rio made a good point in the fact that it's not to say that Saka can't get to a world-class level. But like you said there, I just don't get why people compare these two players anyway. I'm with you. I think Phil Foden. I think that England's two best talents are Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham. Yeah. They're England's two brightest stars. Definitely. Not to say that other ones can't, you know what I mean, go and do bits. Like, I think Saka is going to have a good career. The guy is sick. Professional idiot with a 2 says, looking a bit Hitlery there, Hugh, in a reference to Ollie yesterday. I think he's been waiting to say that.
No,
yes, fine, mate.
So I won't.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer not to speak. It's probably the best way to respond to that. Yeah, that's exactly how I'd respond. Big up professionally as well for super chat. My stat, I found my stat. It was Man City have now won their last 9 Champions League games, the longest run by any English side in the competition's history. That is wild. Yeah. In the competition's history. That's mad. Also, another stat. This is a wild one, this. Phil Foden has more goals for Manchester City than Carlos Tevez.
Wow.
That is the wildest stat. Because I love Tevez as well. But Phil Foden has now overtaken Tevez. His amount of goals. He's got 75 goals in all competitions. Damn. Insane. Because Tevez was a baller, man.
And they considered Foden a bit part player, a bench man, and
oh yeah,
he's got more goals. Tevez, chat to me now. Where are all you fools now, man? Chat to me now. Phil Foden is
crazy.
Phil Foden's generational. Nick in the chat says there's no need to hate on Saka. Just because I rate one higher than the other, it doesn't mean I'm hating on Saka. It Doesn't.
That's
I
what, but
like.
then that's the way Arsenal fans will take it, though, isn't it? They always say,
I hate.
I prefer Foden over Saka, but that's not me disliking Saka. Like you just sit there, bro. You rate Saka, you like Saka.
I do. But I'm just calling a spade and giving you my opinion. I think Foden is a far superior footballer to Saka. For me, Saka is growing into what Rashford should have grown into. An extremely lethal winger who'll turn up in the big moments. Saka hasn't even had the big moments yet. He's not played in Champions League knockout football as of yet. Until next week, Saka will have never played in Champions League knockout football. Phil Foden's Champions League winner. Big moments. Dortmund. Great performance against massive clubs. I'm trying to think off the top of my head other ones he's had, but Phil Foden's been an ever-present member of this team in massive moments. Came on the Champions League final when Kevin De Bruyne came injured and absolutely ran the midfield. Remember he spun into Milan midfield.
Oh yeah, he should have scored in that as well. That'd have been such an iconic goal if he'd have scored that goal where he spun the midfielder.
Mate, Phil Foden is just he's been on track to become what he's becoming for years, but people are so impatient. People demand instant, like, I don't mean the Man City fans, by the way, because I think the Man City fans have been very understanding and accepting of
definitely of his development.
His development, exactly. But the people outside Man City fan base are like, nah, Foden, he's 21 now or he's 22 now. He should be the main man. He should be doing this. He should be doing that. No. Pep Guardiola knows better than any of you. Pep Guardiola knows better than all of us. And he has turned Foden into exactly what he is right now. He's not even done. He's going to get even better again.
This ain't it. This isn't even the finished Phil Foden product. This isn't like the last of it. The guy's got years and loads more progression to go. Like, and that's scary, man. It's scary to think what he can become. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think when we win a major honor this season, I believe we will win at least one major honor this season, whether it's Champions League, whether it's Premier League.
Yeah,
Please God, it's both. I don't see why we can't win both. But when we win a major honor this season, we are going to credit Phil Foden massively for it, because throughout the whole season now, through dark times and through the better times that we're having now, he's been ever present. And whether it's worked for him or not, like it didn't at the early stage of the season, maybe he wasn't as influential as he is now. He was still working at it. He was still grinding away. He was still trying to make influence. And now he's getting his reward. Now he's getting his goals and assists in the Premier League. He's helping us grind out results against the likes of Everton. You know, ugly games. Fantastic in the Champions League. I think he's got a massive next few months ahead, Phil Foden. I've got my seatbelt on, man. I'm ready for this Foden roller coaster. I've got my seatbelt on. I'm strapped in. Big up.
Yeah, man. A lot of love for Phil Foden in the chat as well. Adam's saying Foden player this season for City and Prem. Cal says Foden. I just hear Messi.
You know what, man? Fucking man. Give me a pin in the new for Phil Foden. Come on, man. Yeah. Phil Foden, man. I'm sorry.
Phil Foden, man.
We're regarded as a quiet fan base to people, but we should be allowed gas up these kind of players. These kind of players are elite. Like, if he was playing for United, like, look at the way they gas up Kobe Mainu. What the fuck's he done?
Yeah.
He's only been off the scene for about 2 months. Phil Foden's got 5 fucking Premier League medals, mate. We should be allowed to gas these people up. I'm sorry, man. Hit the like button for Phil Foden. Or else.
He's a generational talent, bro. How can you not gas up people like this? These kind of talents don't come around all the time. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So you need to gas it. You need to gas it.
8 years old, he joins the academy, goes all the way through, wins the Champions League, wins the treble, 5 Premier Leagues, now instrumental in the middle of the field, out in the wing. We should be allowed gas up these players and stop being told to compare them to fucking randomers. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Phil Foden is him. He's him.
He is him. You are exactly right. He is him.
Hold on door, exactly.
Adju says with a 279, big up, mate. Thanks for the super chat. He says, it is sad Foden is not celebrated by media like Jude Bellingham is. It is mad. Jude Bellingham is Jude Bellingham. Like, he is doing bits, and he's doing bits for one of the best clubs in the world, Real Madrid. But Phil Foden is also doing bits for one of the best clubs in the world. In fact, the current best club in the world, which is Manchester City. Like, this guy should be gassed just as much as Jude Bellingham. They're both very young players, and they've both got incredible careers ahead of them.
Foden
should.
Right now, Foden warrants the gassing more than Bellingham. Foden is a winner. Foden has won all around him. He's 50 appearances in the Champions League, the youngest to ever do so, and he has a medal to show for it. 2 finals, a medal. Foden has won Premier League after Premier League after Premier League and been a part of it all. Bellingham has won nothing. He's doing great. He's taken on life at Real Madrid really well, and he's growing into who will be a world-class, top level player. But he's not won what Foden's won yet. He's not got the experience Foden has yet. Foden.
I just don't get it. I do think the Foden agenda needs to be pushed more, man. The guy is incredible. Professional idiot with a 5. Big up professional idiot as well. Big appreciate the super chats. It says losing Grealish and Bernardo Silva to injuries grim. I swear Atletico Madrid played yesterday instead of Copenhagen. Yeah, they were dirty players yesterday. I'm surprised that Bernardo one didn't get a proper VAR review because his foot was high. And you can see what it did to his foot, and obviously his ankle's now dusted. So Bernardo had a bad ankle injury. We'll have to wait and see how long that is. And obviously Grealish as well getting injured. It wasn't ideal. And it was really, really, really unfortunate. And it's probably a good time to section on to the injuries. I'll do that in a second though, Pi, and we'll answer that in a sec. I've just seen Pitbull up on this whole the youngster debate kind of thing. It says Rico Lewis is better than Kobe Mainu. I think Rico Lewis, another incredible player for City that's coming through, and I think he's gonna have a great career. That's not to say that Kobe Mainu isn't though. I think Kobe Mainu will do bits, but these are the players that should be getting praised in the media that I feel like we don't really see it. I don't see the Rico Lewis gas unless it's from City fans.
Red Stream Media, man. It's Red Stream Media. They don't
Red
want
Stream
to
Media.
They don't want to gas Man City players up because it's not the popular thing to do. Everyone wants to hate on Man City, call us cheaters. We win trophy after trophy, but none of our players ever seem to get put in combined 11s or put in the conversation for best in their position. Remember, we were going toe to toe with Liverpool for years, and people doing combined 11s between City and Liverpool, and I was always dominant Liverpool, but Liverpool never won the trophy at the end. Remember?
Because it's always the thing. They had the best players in the world, best manager in the world. It's always they have the best players, but you know what I mean. They won one.
Mate, I've been campaigning for ages now to get some respect on some of our top players over the years, like particularly Gundogan. I think Gundogan gets so much disrespect and gets overlooked massively for how important he is to our recent history and the success we had. And when I try to put his name forward, people kind of go, "Oh, Gundogan, I don't really know." Sorry, what? Treble winning captain, all the goals. Remember the season De Bruyne got injured and Gundogan came in and scored like
Gundogan
14
stepped
goals.
up. Yeah, but you've also got the season.
FA Cup final against United. Sorry, Ilkay Gundogan is a bona fide legend. Premier League.
You've also got Gundogan stepped in for so many players. Like when KDB was out at the time, like you're saying, he stepped up in that season. When Fernandinho got injured, he stepped up in that season, into that role. Ilkay Gundogan was crucial to us, and I still think it's criminal that we let him go. We should have offered him whatever he wanted to stay at this football club. He was honestly a crucial player, and I do think we'll still see the negative impact of not having Ilkay Gundogan at the club. I think throughout the season we have seen that, having to rely on players like Kovacic, who doesn't really have the attacking side of his game into it. I think I think he is missed. He is missed. He always will be missed, and obviously it's done now. But I just think it's a crime. Whoever at City decided, you know what? I don't think we need Gundo. I think that's such a L. It's such an L to dismiss him like that.
He probably starts for us right now. If he's still here.
Yeah, 100%. 100% he starts for us. 100%. 100%. There's no reason why he wouldn't be.
If you're putting Foden at the wing like Pep has done the last 2 games, then you put Gundogan in beside De Bruyne, 110%. Gundogan, man, he gets too much disrespect. People don't appreciate Man City players enough. People don't talk about David Silva enough. Only we're the ones that continuously put respect in David Silva's name, and we should continuously put respect in Ilkay Gundogan's name. People are so fixated on not giving respect to Manchester City players.
Because bro, as soon
Absolutely.
as you mention the word Manchester City, bro, it's 115. That's all people care about. It's all it ever turns to. It's 115, and that's it. So it puts this dampener on our players. Like Aguero said a few weeks back, he was like, he got asked about the 115 charges, and he was like, I don't care about any of that. He was like, the players on the. He said, all I know is the players on that pitch won those titles. We put
Exactly.
that effort in on that pitch to win that, win what we've
Doesn't
won.
matter, doesn't matter what Dave down the pub says or Craig on Anfield Agenda says, who says he's seen the emails and trying to
Oh yeah, of
discredit
course he has. Yeah, of course he
our
has.
our our 11 to 23 whatever players each season that took to the pitch, and our manager won those games. They won those trophies. Doesn't matter what went on in the boardroom, what went on anywhere else, what went on with sponsorships, all alleged, of course, as of right now, because we're found guilty of sweet fuck all. But we won those games. Those players worked day in, day out for months to win those trophies. And just because you say it's tainted, as asterisks beside it, isn't going to change anything. And it's the
Yeah,
exact
it
same.
changes absolutely nothing.
We experienced it. We were there. We watched it. We felt it. You can't reverse it. You can't take emotion and memory out of my small brain. Simple.
Yeah, fact. Ain't gonna change nothing of what we've experienced as City fans and the sides that we've had, and some of the best football that the Premier League has ever seen.
We're 10 likes away from 100, bro. Guys, 10 likes off 100. Make sure you smash a like on the stream.
boy.
Get involved in the chat. I want to see you guys' opinions on. We're going to be talking injuries now in a second, isn't it? So,
Yeah, we got injuries as well.
yeah.
Ben with a 2 says first thing TNT did last night was comparing Saka for Ford. I know, and that's it's wild. It's wild. Like why? Another thing is why is it always this comparison mentality of they have to? I understand it on one side because they want to see him against other players, but bro, why are they comparing Saka? Saka's not won a Prem. Saka's not won what Phil Foden has. Why are they comparing him to Saka for? Phil, I don't get it. I don't get why he's getting compared to Saka. Like, why is that the first thing that they do? Rather than just praising the player and letting the player be its own thing, they have to have the comparison mentality. It's like when Bruno went to United. It was like, oh, he's going to be compared straight away to KDB. And it's like, well, the guy's not even fit to lace his boots. Like, why does everything have to be compared to another player? And it's never going to change. It was like the Messi Ronaldo comparisons all them years. Like, that's just football, isn't it? That's just the way it is. But some of them just don't make sense.
Because we're in an era now, or a time period where that's what gets clicks. That's what gets into action. And the mainstream are doing their best to latch on to that. Like, oh, this player just had an amazing game. The game has nothing to do with Bukayo Saka, but let's bring Saka's name into it. For what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what?
Absolutely nothing to do with him.
Appreciate the brilliance you've just seen from a young English talent. Like Phil Foden, when you put in a performance like that, he doesn't deserve to have his name compared to anybody else because no one else has done what he's just done a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what? And ain't no one else at that table. Why are they being brought into this conversation? Like that make no sense.
I think what Cal says here, bro, is also quite relevant. That it's a lot of insecurity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because they need to keep for content and for everything, to keep the whole machine going commercially. They need to keep it somewhat debatable and competitive. Whereas if they just come on and go, City are the best in every position, in every aspect.
Yeah, it ain't
very quick.
Yeah, people get bored of that. People get bored of that straight away. Pie, yes, professional did it again with a 5. Big up, bro. He says, I see us win the Champions League again unless we play Real Madrid, the only real threat. Bayern is a shadow of itself with the Spurs DNA. The Harry Kane curse, obviously, in full effect over there. But I think it's mad. Am I deluded to say this? I'm not scared of any teams in these competitions. I think we can go and win the Champions League this year, and I'm confident. You could put Real Madrid in front of me, and I'd be confident. Do I think it would be a difficult game? Yes, and they have incredible players, but I'm confident in the City side that we've got to beat them. And it's the same with the Prem. Like, I think we're better than anyone else in the Prem. And that could be, it's blue tinted glasses, obviously. But I generally just don't, bro. I think we could be seeing a double this year. I think we can. I mean, not a double treble. I'm still adamant that that's out of reach, but a Champions League, Premier League this year, bro. I don't know why I wouldn't say we can do it.
Any newspapers out there, make sure you use that quote. Jordan from City Extra says we're going to see a
Double treble. Yeah. Just quote me on that straight away and just ruin me.
I do actually agree with you. Look, the Premier League, it's more difficult. Keep those blue tinted glasses on, by the way, because they're a very comfortable headset to wear these days. But
Yeah,
the Premier
facts.
League, obviously, it's a bit more of a rat race, isn't it? Like 38 games. It's you know,
It's long.
minor
It's
mistake.
a slog. That's my favorite competition. If I had to choose between Premier League or Champions League, I'd choose the Prem.
Yeah. Of course. But I feel more confident about us winning the Champions League because of the experience we've gained in the competition over the past few years, and then to finally get over the line. And then I look at the competition this year. I believe that the competition we're up against this year, standard wise, it's easier for us to overcome than last season. So it once again for me comes down to our biggest obstacle is ourselves. As long as we don't have any major slip ups, I believe we will win the Champions League this year. I think on paper we are streets ahead of everybody else. You can bring in Real Madrid's heritage and their know-how and their experience. That of course has to be considered and accounted for because it is a big thing, especially going to the Bernabeu. But if you're able to overcome that, there's not many obstacles or teams I simply see out footballing us. I don't see many teams out footballing us. I really think the Champions League is there to be got for us. Arsenal, obviously, an unknown quantity, but in their first season back in the Champions League, could they win it? Wow, that would be a massive.
That'd be a massive feat for them, lad, to go and do that.
I just don't know.
I just think if we play at our best, then I don't see anyone that beats us. And I see Nick, I'll say, don't lie, you'd be shitting if we play Real Madrid. I would genuinely be shitting it, but I'd 100%. I think all City fans would be shitting it if we get drawn against Real Madrid. However, at the same time, I still back us to beat them over two legs. I'd still be shitting it though, because it's all good me backing them to beat us over two legs. They actually have to go and do that. That's where the nerves come into it, because we've got to go and perform as we know we've seen City perform.
Exactly. If we
Pie.
draw Real Madrid the next round or the round after, I want them away first. Give me the Bernabeu again.
Yeah. Bernabeu first. First. Bro,
Let us
go
go
get a
away.
0-0 at that.
Yeah, we'll make it a slog fest. We'll quiet down the Bernabeu and we'll take a draw or a lead or even a slender loss back to the Etihad. Who knows? And we fancy ourselves to do it in the Etihad. Look, the thing is, I don't actually fear Real Madrid for Real Madrid. I fear Real Madrid for ourselves. Could we slip up? Could we make?
It's always about us and what we're going to do. It's never about if they're going to be better than us. It's always about, are we going to fuck it?
Exactly.
Big up Adju with a super chat. He says, in this current world, is that City fan are not delusional at all. Think about one of our youngsters in their club. They'll be the next Ronaldo, Mbappe, or Palmer. Do you know what I mean? They'll be the next. Well, M10, I guess, is Messi in it. Not thinking. I've never seen him called M10 before. M10, it's like Ben 10. But yeah, like any other youngsters, but it's the same thing applies. Like, but any other youngsters in any other side are going to be hyped up to the moon. Like Kobe Manu, to the Kobe Moon. The Kobe Manu is the exact same thing. Anything like that. Saka, Kobe Manu, and I rate both them players, and they are going to get hyped up by the media. It's just something that we've got to live with. Yeah, Garnacho. It's something that we got to live with. That City players don't really get that attention.
No,
it's just
they don't.
it is what it is, isn't it? We've got to
like there was apparently there was some sort of a City fan on Talksport last night. Apparently he gave it great. Did you see this on Twitter? People talking about it.
Yes, I've seen it. I listened to it before. It's sick.
Is it good?
He's talking to Jim White and he's talking to Simon Jordan, and he's basically he's saying about how it is a red media and all that. Like it's a really good video. If you find it on Twitter, if I find it on the City Extra YouTube account, which I don't really use that often, but I'll retweet it. I'll retweet it so it's on there so people can see it, because it's very, very good.
Yeah, well, like one of the quotes I saw someone just posted on Twitter was something about City not being a big club. One of the people said to him, and he goes, "Well, like we don't care about being a big club. Like we don't like we're not leaving games going, oh, I hope we're a big club or something along those lines. We want to be a big club. Like basically saying we don't care. Like I don't care if media don't want to hype up our players the way they deserve. Like if you're going to hype up Mainu's and Saka's integrally, you should hype up Foden even more. But if you're not going to, I don't care. But on this platform, on Manchester City platforms, we're going to hype them up. Because if you're not going to hype them up, of course we're going to hype them up. There are players. We absolutely love them. So I don't care. Like my feeling over the years, particularly in the content creation space, which I've been in now for a few years, is I don't actually care about people's opinions on Manchester City. Because they're usually not giving us flowers or giving us any respect.
Yeah, they ain't ever giving us flowers, bro.
Respectfully, I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care if you don't think we're a big club. I don't care if you think we're cheaters without being found guilty. I don't care if you're not going to hype up our top players. I'll do it all myself.
Mib there said Red Media. Yeah, that was like Red Media, isn't it? That's what it is. The guy put Simon Jordan in his place, and he did put Simon Jordan in his place. Big up to Piplup with the 2. Yes, mate. He says Hugh hates Yaya, and I might have missed something
Piplup,
with that.
man. I need to start. I've got a bone to pick with you, Piplup. You need to stop pushing this agenda that I hate Yaya. He comes into my streams as well, Piplup. Big up Piplup, man. He's a good guy. He comes into my my podcast I do with Joe a couple nights a week, and he was asking me, "Do you still?" The question, it stems from me being asked, who do I prefer, Gundogan or Yaya? And I said Gundo, just because like the memories, the moment, trophies, first Champions League winning captain, and it spiraled into Hugh hates Yaya. I don't fucking hate. I love Yaya.
Yeah. You know what? As well, I'm pretty sure Piplup Superchat on this channel before and said that exact same thing that you hate. Yeah, I'm certain. I think I've seen this before.
Piplup, I'm going live tonight again with Joe at 10:30. Come into the chat and we'll talk about it properly.
We'll air it out. He does say Ake is still our best defender, by the way. Ake has missed the consistency. He's so good. And again, last night, very, very good from Ake. Very, very good. I can't fault him.
I'll just address this message first because it's quite sad. Hey, Hugh and Jordan, I wish the injured player speedy recovery. Yeah, that's kind of what I got on to. I thought she said she was injured herself. I read it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you're not injured, Rose.
Yeah, sorry. You said Nathan Ake, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nathan Ake is obviously smashing it right now. Absolutely smashing it right now, which is insane. His rise as a City player has been something that's been so good to watch from our point of view. It doesn't exist. And this ties basically into everything that we've just been saying then. It doesn't exist from any other fan's point of view. They think Nathan Ake is 4th or 5th choice defender at Manchester City, and you wouldn't have to go far to find someone who would call him a flop. Nathan Ake for us has been so consistent throughout the last couple of years. He's genuinely been one of our best defenders. Last season, he was up there for best player of the year. This season, he's doing it again. I know he got dusted at the beginning of the year. Pedro Neto. But other than that, I genuinely don't know what he's done wrong. He's been sick. So sick. He's mint.
Ake, over the last 2 seasons, is our best defender. Our number 1 best defender.
The most consistent defender that we've had for the last 2 years is Nathan Ake.
Because
this guy was going to go to Chelsea.
No, I know. The Stones and Diaz thing was mainly... and Akanji mainly became prominent in the second half of last season, if that makes sense. It mainly became really big and prominent in the second half because both of them had injuries. They were in and out of the team. But Akanji for the whole of last season, from day one, even the first half of the season when, we were we weren't looking as solid as we were in the second half. Ake was still performing, and he's been performing ever since. Ake, people, you're right, and it's lazy. It's lazy punditry from whoever, mainstream or radio, whatever, to suggest that Nathan Ake, or to not give Ake his flowers, because all you have to do is watch the guy consistently to know that this guy is absolutely class. Like, absolute. In terms of the art of defending, Nathan Ake has it down to a T. He has it on lock. And he's locked down some of the better players in world football over the last 18 months. He locked down Bukayo Saka, star boy, in the last year as well. in my opinion, he's top 5, top 10, top 5 center backs in the world right now, based on form and consistency. He just is. Like, but
Yeah.
people are so stuck in this mindset of he's that 40 million transfer from Bournemouth and he came into big Manchester City and he's not going to make it type. No, he's made it. He's made it, and he's one of the best.
And hey, this is definitely something that comes into it as well with Mib. He says here, when Vario came in, loads of people were thinking he'd replace Ake, but it hasn't happened. And I'm not gonna lie, I was in that. I was thinking, because Vardiol is obviously a very, very big talent. I was thinking he's going to come in, he's just going to end up taking Ake's spot. We've seen Vardiol start playing left back. And I was just thinking, yeah, now it's on Ake. It's on Ake now to step up. But then, I don't think Ake's moaned one bit about it. I think Nathan Ake turned around and went, yeah, no worries, mate. You want to come try and take my spot? Decent. And look at it. It's still week in, week out. We see Nathan Ake. Like he's just too consistent to not be in the side.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the panic towards the end of last season? Would he be fit for the FA Cup final? Would he
Oh
be
my
fit
god, yeah.
Like because you like 3 years ago, could you imagine a world where we're going into a treble-winning week and we're begging for Nathan Ake to be fit? No. But that's what
you could have never told me that. Like, imagine thinking you're begging for Nathan Ake to be fit when you sign him. Imagine you thinking about that. Like, you're gonna be sweating so much on Nathan Ake being fit.
He's a total professional. He's a total professional. He totally understands the environment of Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. He totally understands the rotation thing. He totally understands it'll change on a week-to-week basis depending on the opposition we're up against, depending on Pep feels is best. Doesn't throw a strop. His whole first season, he didn't play a huge amount. Knuckled down. Second season, he's in and he's performing. Do you remember even when his dad died and he scored against Leipzig, I think it was, in the Champions League group stage a couple of days later? Like, the guy is just, he wears his heart in his sleeve when he's out in the pitch, and he's just brilliant to watch. I feel when I see wingers going down the wing and I see Ake squaring up to them, I feel so comfortable. I'm like, I know Ake is going to make the right move.
You're confident. You're confident. And I'm more confident with Ake in that defensive capability than I am Vardiol for now. How many times have we seen Vardiol get done already for Man City? Like, and that's not to say Vardiol won't go on and do bits for City, because I genuinely think he's going to be mint. But Ake is so much, you get so much more surety with Ake in the side, and that's why Pep loves him, man. Like, that's why he's always in the games that matter.
Pep just loves players he can rely on. Players who knows that when he selects them, he's going to get at the bare minimum a 7.5 out of 10. Bare minimum, if not more. That's the player Pep wants, and that's what you get with Ake. He's had very little, if any, over the last 18 months below 7 out of 10 performances. Genuinely.
Like I said, the only thing I can think he's done wrong in like 2 or 3 years is get dusted by Neto, and Neto's a rapid player. Like, he is gonna dust people. That's the only thing I can probably think that he's done.
But he's human, though, isn't he? At the end of the day, he's human. Like, there are going.
They all make mistakes. Yeah, they're all gonna make mistakes, but
you know, there are going to be games where someone gets the better of him, and you're going, that's just the way it is. But you're pretty confident.
Look at Ivan Toney the other day when we played Brentford. Ivan Toney took Nathan Ake out of that defense completely, dusted him. Completely take him out of it. Good strength from Ivan Toney, but I don't see no meltdown from, because we all, as City fans, we all know that ain't gonna affect Ake and his confidence. Like, the guy's sick for us. That ain't gonna change a thing.
No, there's no defender in world football that's gonna have no mistakes in them. But
yeah,
you can be pretty confident that the mistakes are rare. All you can do is hope that the mistakes are kept to a minimum, and with Ake, they are kept to a minimum. So. Love the guy, man. Love the guy. I really do believe. I mean that. I believe he's up there with the top 5-10 in the world defenders right now.
Yeah, I can't argue against that. Professionally, with a 5. Big up, mate. He says it's a good thing the mighty, scary Southampton isn't there to stop us from winning the treble, especially the Tim Pot Champions League since we won it. And ours was actually a very difficult run to the final. It's not like we got like some easy route and then we just got there. I mean, we had to beat Bayern and Real Madrid and then go beat a very difficult Inter side. And But yeah, it's good job Southampton aren't in there. Do you know what I mean? It's I'll take a nightmare against Southampton. Don't want to run that back anytime soon. So yes, fresh idiot mates. Right, we have some injury news, which is funny actually because Lenger's just said he was injured. We have some injury news. Obviously, we know last night Bernardo Silva should have been questionable red card. I think it probably should have been reviewed and looked at as a red card. It was a horrible tackle on his ankle. Pep confirmed last night in the interview in the post-match press conference that he took a big knock on his ankle and he's currently out. I'm not sure if there's been any news today on Bernardo Silva and how long he's going to be out for. The other ones, though, Mateo Kovacic, obviously, is someone that just went missing. He is actually back now. He's ready to play for City, which is good. Obviously, with having a little bit of an injury crisis, like mini one. But Kovacic is back, which is nice to see. He's ready to play. Vardiol, there was Vardiol news, and he's got ankle ligament injury. He's going to be ruled out for 2 to 3 weeks, so he's probably going to be out of that Copenhagen second leg as well, which is decent. Well, isn't decent, sorry. It's a bit of a rip, but at least we've got Nathan Ake in there, as we've just been saying. And then lastly is Jack Grealish. Looks like a muscle injury, looked like a groin injury on the pitch. Isn't great. And they're going to do tests and find out very shortly. Like, I feel bad. Very, very, very bad for Jack Grealish. Me and you were saying in the preview for that game that this is the game for him to play. For him to come back into the side. He did. I thought he started the game well. He played, 25 minutes, half an hour. And then got dusted. And it's just a shame, man, because like Pep said after the match, he said Jack's been training better. I don't know if it was a hint towards him walking out of training, that kind of thing. He said he's been like his attitude in training has been much better, and then he's get start today, looks good. You even said, bro, our strongest lineup was yesterday's starting 11, and then Grealish instantly gets injured, so he's back out the team now, probably for 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, depending on how serious it is.
I'm gutted for him, man. I'm
Bro,
really.
I was so good.
Like Cal in the chat says there, he looked so up for it. He did. He really did. He was actually playing really well. I thought he was contributing really well overall to our play.
Yeah, I agree.
And then look, for him to get the opportunity that he's obviously been waiting for a bit longer than he would have liked. I just wonder, was it something that had maybe been bothering him for a little while up to last night, and maybe that's why he wasn't getting a huge amount of game time? Were they aware that he maybe had a bit of a strain or tension or something in his groin? But either way, I'm gutted for him, man. I would have really he won't be available now probably for March.
He's not available for a while, and it's a really, really, really important fixture period, and we know how much Pep likes to play Jack Grealish in these big games because of what he offers us. Like the way that he controls the game is very, very good for us. Like obviously, I know a lot of people don't like the way he retains possession and stuff, but I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that we should be panicking that Jack Grealish is out. I just think it is a loss for us that we don't have him available, and I just feel for him more than anything. Benno there, so I thought he was going to cry, honestly. I thought he was going to cry. He looked like he was going to cry. He was gutted.
He looked like I feel like he's been waiting for that game last night for a while, like a game where he's starting and he's back in the team kind of thing, and he's given his role. But yeah, for it to pull up like that, I just hope he's back for Anfield, man. I really want him back for Anfield because that game's going to be crazy. The Liverpool will get up in our faces and it'll be end to end. So you want Grealish's calmness and his ability to win free kicks and retain possession. So I'm gutted for him. You guys know I'm a massive, massive Jack Grealish fan. So for the guy, man, gutted for him, genuinely.
Yeah, no, obviously he doesn't have a return date at all. Like none of them do really, to be honest. It's just good that I'm glad that Kovacic is back. I'm glad we have a small time frame on Vardiol, even though it's not an exact time frame, like we're just like 2 to 3 weeks. It's good to get that. Bernardo Silva is a big miss. a huge miss, especially in these Champions League games. Hopefully, he can be back as soon as possible, and it's not as serious as the others. But yeah, Jack Grealish being out, it's a weird one because I don't even know. We don't even know really what he's done yet. I can say groin injury. That's just because that's what it looks like instantly. Like off looking instantly, it looked like he'd done his groin, and then but I don't know how long that takes to heal. I mean, I don't know when we can even expect.
Everyone's different with that, with those kind of hamstrings and calves and groins. Everyone's different for those. But look, at least I wasn't going to complain about it because it wasn't inflicted by a Copenhagen player, the Grealish one. But I thought the Copenhagen players last night, man, they were nasty. I thought they were
Oh,
nasty.
they were flying. I mean, we've seen Bernardo Silva's got injured from it. Like, they were flying.
See his leg. It's like the sock rip and all that. That's from studs into your ankle. That's dangerous. And the player welfare wasn't being considered last night. The referee wasn't dishing out cards. There were some challenges that warranted cards, and they weren't being given. That Oscar Højlund, Rasmus Højlund's brother, he came on and absolutely clattered Haaland. Did you see that in the middle of the pitch?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what the hell, man? Ridiculous. But they held their L, didn't they?
Yeah, and thankfully, in the next leg, we should be able to rest a few players, and I think I don't want to say it's good that these players are injured because it's not, obviously. But my point is that they have time now to come back in the Champions League. Like, we don't have to rush them back. Say, like, it was a crucial second leg. We really needed these players back. We'd be sat here a bit concerned. However, we should really be confident going into that second leg, taking that 3-1 win, as we said before. Weekend wise, then, just before we round it up, like, Chelsea obviously on Saturday is a big one. We'll obviously have more build up to this in the week, but it's good to get just a little bit of a first start because that's what our attention now turns to. Are you concerned at all by Chelsea? Obviously, the last time was a 4-4, and that was when we went through that period of football where we really lost control of games. Like the midfield was basically non-existent. Alvarez was playing in midfield in that game as well, which didn't really help. But now with Kev back, with Rodri definitely in there, like I know Jack Grealish and Bernardo are out, but we've definitely got the players to be beating Chelsea. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I feel good about it. Look, I think Chelsea are pretty crap. They beat Palace there the other night 3-1. The scoreline probably flatters them. I did watch most of it, and it wasn't the 3-1. It wasn't the 3-1 for Chelsea. In terms of the way the game went, Palace had so many chances to score. So I don't know. Could have a think about it more over the next few days, and we'll do a proper preview and that. But I feel okay about it. You know, Kev's playing well, Foden's playing well. We've more than enough firepower to put Chelsea to the sword. So
yeah, we'll top league says he says I think we were far better against Chelsea with KDB, but I agree. I think we'll be able to control that game a lot.
He always scores against Chelsea as well.
He does. He loves it. It was better when Courtois was in net because I think Courtois sleep with his misses or something. So it was always better when there's a bit of revenge in there when Courtois was in net. But yeah, love Kev scoring against them. But yeah, Chelsea is the game at the weekend. We'll have a panel show this week. I'll speak to Big Steve, see how busy he is. Obviously, he has been in Copenhagen. I imagine he's got a bit of work to catch up with and stuff. We'll get in touch with Martin and the boys for a panel show. Appreciate everyone who's watched the stream. I think it's been a good stream, this, bro. It's been decent, man. There's been obviously just chatting shit and speaking some home truths, innit?
Exactly, man. I'm going live at 10:30 with Joe for the live podcast we do on the HMTV channel. If anybody wants any more.
Yes, this'll. Is it scheduled? Because I can redirect this now.
It's scheduled. I'll put a link in the chat to the channel now. I think Joe's like 15 subscribers off 7K. So if you could help him get to 7K, that would be absolutely class. It's in my name. It's branded for me, but it's where Joe does all his content. It's Joe's channel, but I do a podcast with him live a few times a week at 10:30. So go over and support Joe. I'll be with him at 10:30, man.
Yeah, boy. This will redirect there. Before we do that, Pip up with the £2 says I saw City fans saying we should sell Edison. Yeah, I think that's just an L take, isn't it? It's just an L take. Guy makes mistakes. He does make mistakes. It's annoying, frustrating, but he makes mistakes. It's not too often.
No, you got to take the rough with the smooth with Edison, man. It's the way he is.
Yeah, look how good he's been. Look how good. Look at that Champions League final alone. You know what I mean? It deserves him not to be sold. The guy's been sick. Sick. But yeah, the rough with the smooth is the best way to say it. Appreciate again the super chats, people. Appreciate everyone who's super chatted in this stream. Everyone who's liked it. We will be live again tomorrow. Like I said, with some more content. We've got some stuff to be recorded. Got the next Hot Ones guest lined up. It's all looking smooth. And obviously we've got the Chelsea. Yeah, it's new news. New news. But yeah, appreciate everyone. And we'll see you all in the next one. See you in a bit.
Bye.